Father Derek from the Diocese of Kamloops, and I have another spiritual tip for you on prayer. In the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 6, we hear of Jesus talking about teaching us how to pray. He says, whenever you pray, go to your room, shut the door, and pray to your Father in secret, and your Father who sees in secret will repay you. Don't be like the pagans who like to rattle on and on and on. They think that by their multiplication of words that they're going to be heard. Don't imitate them. And so, yet Jesus had repeated himself in prayer when it was in the Garden of Gethsemane. Do you remember? He said, Father, take this cup away from me, not my will, but your will be done. He said it a second time, and he rattled on, shall we say, a third time. Well, what does he mean? Don't just repeat and pray in vain. And did you notice that the angels, they repeat their prayers. They go, holy, holy, holy. And so what does Jesus really mean? Can you not repeat? How do you pray in vain? Well, I'd like to take a little tip from St. Teresa of Avila, The Way of Perfection. Really good little book here. And I'm reading from chapter 22. And I'm just going to pick out a couple of highlights here to help us to understand that. So if while I am speaking to God, I have a clear realization and full consciousness that I am doing so. How can you address a king unless you are clearly conscious of the nature of his position and your own? And so prayer is not so much multitudes of words or whatever, but it's being aware of the one to whom you are speaking. So that when you are speaking, you are aware of the other person. That's the key. So whether you multiply your words, you wouldn't necessarily do that, but there are some occasions. But the key thing is being aware of the one to whom you are speaking. That's the key. And so that's why when we pray the rosary sometimes, it seems like a lot of repetition. But if we're not aware of the one to whom we are speaking, it becomes in vain. But once we are aware of the one to whom we are speaking, the repetition in the sense of the rosary and those other prayers, it makes meaning when we have an awareness of the one to whom we are speaking. And we want to get to a point where, I remember one person who would pray the Our Father, and by the time they got to the word Our Father, they were so immersed in the awareness of God as his Father that he would just be in tears. He didn't have to say anymore. He was just so aware that God was his Father. He could say, my daddy, my Father who's going to take care of me. It's just that overwhelming sense of being aware of the one to whom you are speaking.